This is the outside of the 2021 Elddis Majestic 250. As we move along, we will firstly come to the grey water drain just here. So anything that goes down your plug holes goes into the holding tank and then is drained off at this point just here. Next we have the location of the cassette toilet. To remove the cassette, just lift up on the lever and pull towards you. Before use, remove the cap and add your toilet chemical with a small amount of water. This is also where it empties from. Just remember that when you are pouring it away to hold the button in just here, which will release the vacuum inside. It's also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine. This is a nice, quick and easy way of giving the cassette a good clean. If you do need to gain full access inside, this whole section here can be removed. You'll see at the moment the arrow is pointing to the locked point. Just turn this whole part here until the arrow is pointing here, and then this bit will come out. All of these cassettes are now on wheels with extendable handles. Next we have the vents for the fridge. As this is a fully winterized motorhome, it is supplied with winter covers. You'll see I've installed one just here on the lower vent. These need to be on if you are using the motorhome in cold climate. It will then just allow it to vent at the bottom just here, thus holding some heat in and making it run more efficiently. In the summer months, you do need to make sure that these are removed, or otherwise the fridge will overheat. Next we have the fresh water drain just here. So again, to drain down the fresh tank, just turn in exactly the same way you do the grey water. The mains hook up to the motorhome just here, and then beside that we have the external shower point. To use the shower point, push on the blue collar towards the motorhome and it will release itself. Then take the shower hose and plug it in. As long as the water pump is on inside, it will then automatically go under pressure. To remove it, again, just push on the collar and it will then pop back out again. As we come round to the rear, we have the flue for the Aldi boiler. We don't need to do anything with this, but just make sure that nothing is obstructing it. We then have water into the motorhome. So to fill up the fresh water tank, just pop your hose in here and then fill it up. You will see that it can be locked. Access underneath the fixed bed just here. And then above that we have the Fiamma bike rack. So to use, just pull and drop the rails down, pop the wheels of the bikes on the rails and then secure these straps through the wheels of the bikes and then attach the arms to the frames. Rear view camera just here. We then have the gas locker, so there is room in here for 2 gas bottles. This motorhome runs the Truma drive safe regulator, so basically it has an anti-crash valve built into it. So you'll see the regulator sits here, the hose comes off the regulator, screws into the propane bottle and is tightened with a gas spanner. Bottle on and off on the top, so if I now turn it on, Once we've turned it on, we then need to press this button just here, and we hold it down for about 3 or 4 seconds, and this will allow gas into the motorhome. What would happen in the event of something going wrong and this hose being severed? The valve just here recognises the sudden drop in gas pressure and shuts the gas off, allowing no more to escape from this point. If it was to be a problem inside, the crash regulator just here will be triggered, and this button here will pop out. Sometimes these can be triggered by going over a bump violently, so if you're not getting any gas into the van, just make sure this hasn't popped out. If it has, just push it back in to reset it. Because we have all this in place, we do not need to turn the gas bottle off for travel if you wish. If you do turn the bottle off, when you turn it back on again, you will have to repeat the process just by holding the button down just here, and obviously every time you change to a new bottle. Spare wheel just here, and in the jack and wheel brace kit there is a bar. That bar locates where my finger is just here. You then attach the brace to it and then wind it down. External main socket just here, and we also have the external TV and satellite points, and also a 12-volt plug-in point as well. Barbecue point just here. So at the moment the barbecue adapter is still attached on a cable tie, so remove it, pop the hose of the barbecue on this rib section just here, and then secure it with a Jubilee clip, and then this end here will plug in where my finger is when in use, and it will then allow you to turn the gas on. To remove, just push the collar and it will then pop back out again. We then have the Dometic roll-out canopy. To roll it out, take the canopy winding handle just here and pop it in the bottom, and then begin to wind it out. As you can now see, I've wound the canopy out a short distance. We now want to drop the legs. The legs are sprung loaded on the end here, so just push in and it will then allow itself to come out. And then we come to this part here, and we then drop the leg like so, and then we slide it along until we get to the end of the awning, and then we make sure that it is clipped into place just here. We then do exactly the same again with the other leg. And again, we now just slide it along until it clips in there. We then slide this bit out of the way and then get hold of this lever here, which will allow the leg to be extended. Get it to the height that you require and then flap it down to lock it into place. And again, if I then do it with the other leg just here, once we're supported, we can then continue to roll the canopy out. I always prefer to do it this way, because that way it's supported and we're not putting too much stress on the side of the motorhome. With this particular awning, because it is very large, it comes with what is known as a centre rafter pole, which is just located in this part here. This rafter pole then locates just here and up here. As you can now see, it installs like so. This can only be used if the awning is wound out completely. If you're only having the canopy out a short distance, it cannot be used. Do not leave the awning out in high winds, as you do run the risk of causing major damage to it if it gets flipped up over the roof. Next we have diesel fill. Diesel cap unlocks on the ignition key, and then we have AdBlue top up just underneath. It will let you know when the AdBlue needs topping up. Tyre pressures on the door pillar just here. Both driver and passenger seats are heated. Jack and wheel brace in its own kit just underneath the passenger seat. Vehicle battery just sits underneath the floor just here. And then we have bonnet release just here. The motorhome is alarmed, so if I now lock it, we will get a single chirp, and you'll see that the indicators will flash just to let you know that the vehicle is locked and the alarm is armed. And if I now unlock it again, we will get a double chirp, and again the lights will flash to let you know it's been unlocked and disarmed. What we can also do is put it into what is known as pet friendly mode. So we arm the alarm on the outside but disarm it on the inside. All we need to do is just press the lock button twice, and then we get a high-pitched chirp letting us know that we have deactivated the internal sensors. If we now unlock it again, and I now just leave this door slightly on ajar, if we now try to lock and arm it, we will get a series of cheeps letting us know that a door is not shut securely. You can also get this noise as well if the bonnet is not securely down.